think I've talked about this a lot in snippets here and there, and in my own business with clients that I train, but I've never really publicly shared my story. So let's do that today here, and I'm gonna do it because I want to talk to you about it. You, the person that's going through the same thing that I went through 12 years ago. Before we get into this, I want to apologize for any inappropriate words you might hear, but the shit's real. And this is what happened in 2010 when I was stationed in Virginia in the military, doing back-to-back deployments. I didn't know what depression was. I mean, before that, I had this mindset where it's like, if I can't fix it, I don't worry about it. And this shit did not catch up to me until my second deployment to Iraq, where I mean, it wasn't even a year, but it was fucking nuts. And I came back. And I had this great plan of just how I'm gonna just kind of pull myself out of this place, this shitty place that I just came back from, and figure out how to get myself back into like normal life. But that shit didn't work. I came back home to a whole new set of problems. I was deployed for a year. I saved up all this money and I was really looking towards like getting myself out of debt. Somehow, inexplicably, it was gone, right? So here I am, a year in a combat zone with nothing to show for it. On top of that, I had like a whole lot of emotional shit that was going on between my family and me, and it was just a lot, and I legit just got so tired of it. I just cut everybody off, which was like the worst fucking thing I could have done at the time, but I was just so tired of it. And just all these things just pulling me in all these different directions, and subconsciously it was fucking with me. But I pretended like it wasn't. It almost seemed at the time like it came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden I woke up and I was just like in this dark place where I didn't see a single bit of hope for anything. It just all came down to all that shit just boiling and building and building and building. And like I said at the time, it's like it came out of nowhere, but now when I look back, it's like there was a long line of things that led up to the night when I was sitting in the second room of the house that I was living in, and I was sitting there in a fucking futon with my my military issued knife right in front of me on the center table, and I'm just like waiting because it was late in the evening, and I was married and I had my daughter at the time, and I was waiting for her to go to bed, and I was like, as soon as I know she's in bed, I'm gonna slit my fucking wrist, man, both, be done, because my thought is like, nobody reaches out to me anyways, nobody talks to me, no one's gonna miss me, like nobody cares. I don't wanna go tell anyone, because then I'm gonna be that guy, the guy that everybody points at and say, oh look, like him, he's not even a soldier, he can't make it, can't even handle it, he's not strong enough, he has to go to counseling, he has to seek help. So I didn't tell anyone in the military, and I kept that shit to myself. And I'm just sitting there waiting, and I mean just for like 30 minutes, just waiting, and then shit didn't happen, obviously, right? Because my daughter came in, and she was just looking at me, and she was like dragging my hand for me to go play with her, and I'm just like, no, like, you just need to go to bed. But then my daughter kept pulling me, right? She was like, oh, let's play. So I finally gave in and just started playing with her, and man, when they say kids, the love of a kid is powerful, it is. Because she had this laugh that was just so bold. It was so full. It was just so full of life. And every time I would mess around and play with her and tickle her or like do something funny, she would just laugh hysterically. And in that moment, I'm looking at her and I'm just like, man, like, I can't leave this kid. Like I can't, like, I just became so overwhelmed, and I'm just like, I can't leave this kid. So I was like, okay. I didn't figure anything out that night. The next morning I had to go to work because it's the military. So I showed up, went to work, and on the way back home, I was feeling the same fucking way, just like nothing matters. And my daughter's not there with me leaving work, and I was just like, man, I can't go home because no one's there. And if I do, this shit is happening. So I pulled over. Just driving, thinking about that, pulled over in a parking lot and sat there for at least fucking 40 minutes or so. I don't know. But I was there for a while. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, I can't go home. I just need to do something to buy me some time so I can actually think this shit through. And I looked out the corner of my window, and I realized that I was in a parking lot of the base gym. And I was like, well, shit, I don't have anything else to do. So I walked in. And honestly, at the time, like, I never really worked out. And when I walked in, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I remembered all the exercises we did from whenever I was working out with my friends, and I just started doing those. And somewhere in the middle of it, like, everything just fucking broke. You know what I mean? It's just like everything it just snapped. It was legit like thinking of a dam with all the shit that was being held in just broke and came out. And I felt this sudden rush of just crush everything right now. Just go through it. Don't even think about the reps. Don't think about the set. Just fucking do it. Do it. Go harder and harder and harder and heavier and heavier and heavier and stronger and stronger. And I just kept going. And I was in the gym for about 2 fucking hours. I don't even know. It was probably longer. But when I walked out, covered in fucking sweat in my uniform, when I walked out, I was like, man, I feel like I could climb fucking Mount Everest right now in an hour. Like, that's how I felt. I felt like nothing in the world could stop me from being and doing what the fuck I needed to do. And I felt so great. I went home, man, I had the best playtime with my daughter, and I felt so good. And I woke up the next day, still feeling the same shitty fucking way. It was like all of it came back. All of it. Every single thing that I was worried about fucking came back. And I said, okay, not even gonna go home, gonna go straight to the gym right after. Same shit happened. I was in there, started off slow, halfway through it, boom, it hit, kept going. Walked out feeling amazing. And I kept this for a little while. This was a cycle. This was a cycle for a few months. It was the same thing every day. But don't get me wrong, like every day, that darkness, that deep fucking hole that I was in, started getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But it was not by much, but it felt good that I was feeling good. So I just kept it going. And it wasn't until almost 8 months of doing that shit, I was like, okay, I need something else to help me kickstart this so I can actually come out of this thing fully. And that's when I went to counseling. And I honestly think that if I wasn't working out, I would have never went to counseling. Because I wouldn't think I was good enough or strong enough to say, oh, I need help. And that's how I was able to fully pull myself out of this fucking hellhole, is what I call it. And went to counseling once a week, went to the gym every day besides Sunday. Felt great, learned so much in counseling, learned so much about myself. And this was the beautiful part about counseling. This was the best part for me, was learning how to identify those things before they happen and then fucking catch them right there. Because here's the thing about depression and suicide, right? Once you've been in it, or if it's happened to you, or if you experienced it, that shit is with you for the rest of your life. You always have to be cognizant. You have to be aware of those traps, those things that are out there that are just fucking waiting for you, just waiting for you to slip up once so it could drag you back into that fucking hellhole. And you can't let that happen. You need to be in control and stay in control. Because life is fucking beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. And when you're able to live it without all those worries of the I can't, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, you'll realize how amazing you are and how fucking strong you are, right? And I realized this a couple years after I was doing fitness and counseling for a while. And this was when it came to me. It was like, oh shit, I can actually do something with this. And then a couple friends was like, oh, you've gotten so good at fitness, like you should train me. Started doing that, and then they suggested, oh, maybe you should do a personal training business. And I was like, light bulb. Change is fitness. And that's where the name came from. It came from a solid fucking foundation. Everyone has their own trials and tribulations that they have to go through, right? You have to learn what yours are and fucking own those bitches. Find something that anchors you down and hold on to that shit and crush every single obstacle that comes your way. And that's what fitness is for me. Taking fitness and combining it with the mindset of psychology. Nothing about life is easy. So if you're sitting there worried that your life is hard, guess what? Everyone else's life is hard for them. It doesn't matter how people might make it look on social media or on TV. They have a lot of shit that they have to go through. They just don't publicize it. And you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have some terrible fucking days. And guess what? You are allowed to be sad on those fucking days. Be sad. But when you have good days, be happy. And always remember those good days over the bad ones, because those are the ones that actually matter. Those are the ones that count. Those are the ones that make life beautiful. The fact that you're up and alive is fucking amazing. That alone is reason numero uno, number one, to be happy about life. Enjoy the cycles of life. The days where you get unhappy, the days where you're tired, the days where you're sad, the days where you're ecstatic, the days where you're celebrating, the days where you're being congratulated. All that is a part of life, and it's the beauty of life. So I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter what you are going through, right? It doesn't matter. Suicide is not the fucking option, my friend. From one person who's been there and almost tried that shit, I'm telling you, after I came back out on the other side of that picture, I realized that it wasn't what I wanted. And I don't think it's what you want, right? So here is me telling you that I feel you and I know what you're going through. Personally know what you're going through. And I know that's not the shit you want. So please do me and yourself a favor. Not anyone else. Do yourself a favor, right? Look out for you. There's plenty of people out there who actually truly do care about you and want you here. All right, and you always got to remember that. You always got to remember that. And especially with the technology that we have now, it's so easy to just reach out to someone. And believe me, you'll be surprised to find out who actually will talk to you, who actually will hang out with you, who actually cares about you. Fuck, you want to reach out to me? I'm all over the freaking internet. Like my website, my Instagram, my email address is on my website. I'm telling you, reach out and I will reach back out to you. All right, so if you're listening to this and you're paying attention to this and this is connecting with you, the first thing I want you to do is find something that's gonna anchor you down. Whatever it is, find something that's gonna anchor you down and hold on to that shit and then crush every other fucking thing in sight.